Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time zone you may be in. You are watching Power Up with Pride 2024 here on Twitch. We are running from June 13th through June 16th for about 16 hours each day, and we are benefiting True Colors United. To find out more about them, you can find the link to their site in the panels below the stream or use !charity in chat. If you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in chat. You can find the schedule by using !schedule or see the incentives with !incentives. We are about to kick off our third, but not yet final day here in just a moment. But before we kick off, I just want to remind everyone what we have open. So we have those wonderful incentives, and as we are using Tiltify, you can put your donations towards both a poll or a bid war and a target. So currently at polls open, we have Sonic Mania character bid war. It's a little bit later today. You can choose which character is going to be played, and currently Tails is thoroughly in the lead at $110. Mighty and Ray are in second place at $60, trailed by Knuckles at $12 and Sonic and Tails at $10. We also have two other incentives coming up. We want to reach $200 for both of them: Super Mario 3D World Add Crown Item Lists and Shishingo Bonus Cat Showcase. Now, we only have a short time, well, short-ish time, depending on how you feel, to reach that Super Mario 3D World. We do have till the end of this coming run, but, you know, we have $82 left, so if you have a couple extra bucks, you can donate. We would love to see that World Crown Item List. It's an additional run, and so we get more marathon, and we'll get to see some of the final levels that we won't get to see otherwise. And so it's going to be a blast. And of course, Shishingo, that bonus cat showcase. During the normal Shishingo run, we only get to see one cat. In the bonus cat showcase, Scala Kitty is going to go through and pet all of the cats. And I mean, we need to see cats, right? And we need to pet the cats. So if you have a couple of dollars, you can always donate !donate in chat. And to start the day off, we did have a wonderful donation from Poppy Thomas for $100, saying donating in honor of Barakiel. Super proud of my lovely daughter for being her true self, caring so deeply, and making a difference in this insane world. Thank you so much for that generous donation. And remember, everyone, any amount as small as $1 goes towards a great cause. But all right, let's get ready. We're about prepared for Super Mario 3D World. Hang on to your seats. All right, everyone, it is that time. We're getting into our first game of the day, Super Mario 3D World, 80%, being run by SMMidi. Let's go!
Alright, hi everyone, I'm SMMidi, I go by he, they. I speedrun normally games with no real ending, although this is one with an ending. It doesn't have that much lore, but I mean, it's Mario, so the expectations are low, it's fine. So what we're doing, today, we're going to be doing 80%, possibly, if the incentive gets met, we're going to be doing a little extra at the end, which will close right at the end, so you've got some time. That's going to be World Crown itemless. I will get straight into the run. So first off, we're going to be starting with Toad on the first level. So there are 4 characters unlocked right at the beginning, and we are going to get into how they are all different. There is actually a reason to use 3 of them. But yeah, so I will do a quick countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. So right at the beginning, basically this is a port from the Wii U Super Mario 3D World, and the first thing you will notice straight away is that they have added a cutscene skip. So instantly we saved 1 minute 40, which is really nice. But basically the cutscene is it's not actually Peach gets kidnapped. It's the fairies of Sprixie Kingdom get kidnapped. And Peach is actually playable in this game. We will see her a little bit, but she is very slow, so we won't see her too much. So what you might also notice, this game's a little different where we are actually going to need collectibles for 80%. So we need 170 by the end of this run. And that will unlock the final castle. There are a couple of gates which we're going to need to unlock. And they are the only way you can actually complete this game. So we are going to need those as we come through. Most of the time we're going to be grabbing ones that are pretty quick to grab, so all of those green stars on the first few levels are all going to be on the path, so we are pretty much just going to always be grabbing those. So yeah, pretty much first off we're starting with Toad. Now there are a couple of ways of going faster in this game, getting your increased speed. You might remember if you played the Wii U version that version was very sluggish. You had to use a trick called cat momentum to kind of scratch just before you hit the floor, and that would preserve your momentum from the dive, and that was kind of the only way of going fast in that game. But in this game, it's a little better. So essentially, it's a lot nicer to be itemless. We will like to keep our cat where we can because it does give us more movement, but yeah, it is a little bit easier in this game because everyone's speed is increased. Let's just grab that star there. There we go. So yeah, Toad has very fast speed, but they've also decreased the speed, or the time it takes to actually get your sprint speed. So pretty much straight away we're getting our sprint speed there, and we're able to just go in these clear pipes. So also another thing with this level, we are going to be using the warp pipe. We will skip straight to World 2 in a moment, and that is a feature of 80%. We will be using both warps in World 1 and World 4. So yeah, that's us already done with World 1. We are sort of skipping through. There's some stuff we might see later. We will see later. Yeah, so Toad is really fast, as I said. So we will be using him a lot on some of the smaller cramped levels where it's kind of hard to do jumping around to get higher speed. But this is one of the levels where we're going to be using Luigi. So he is also pretty good. And he has a really high jump, as in a lot of games. But because of that, and the fact that there's a thing in this game called vectoring, where pretty much if you jump at different angles with each jump, you'll get a little bit more speed each time. So we're able to just come through, do these jumps which are higher with Luigi, and get a bunch of speed. That is not somewhere I normally get hit. That's fine. You know what? I'm going to try and time this. Just for a bit of safety, because there is not... it's fine. There aren't many catsuits coming up in the rest of the run. There is actually one in a level coming up though, so it should be fine. So you do have those roulette blocks there. The good thing with this game is there is the gyro cursor. So that is me using motion controls to pretty much move around the character's emblem and speed a lot of things up. So I will get into more of those in a moment. Oh my goodness.
Oh no!
I'm climbing. It's just off screen. It's fine. that happens to me in practice, but on the other wall, and it really surprised me how far down it lets you go without like hitting the death plane. That is not where I want to go. Yeah, you get a little bit of snapback on the controller, and then that happens, but it's fine. So this is one of the rare Mario games where pretty much you want to go low on the flagpole because the Bowser flag doesn't have to go to the bottom, it just disappears. So it's better to do that, but there is a thing in this game where if you hold any direction for any amount of time when you hit a flagpole, you will climb up until you run out of stamina. And it's pretty much like a gimmick of, oh, you can get top of the flagpole this way and stuff like that. Obviously for us, that means we do lose time if that accidentally happens. So yeah, that's what I tried to do at the end there. Tried to let go of the stick. I got snapped back. I went the other way. It's fine. But yeah, it's okay. So, moving on. This is the, as I was just mentioning, the last catsuit level for a while. Now, in terms of a marathon run, this is actually one of the longer times where you don't get catsuits for a really long time in the run. So there are 2 in this level. So there's 1 here as well. But after this, it's pretty much going to be the end of World 3 that we're going to be able to get any more catsuits. So, yeah, this is kind of important for me to try to keep them for as long as I can. That's not always the way, but the good thing with this version is, again, itemless isn't too bad. You can still do some stuff with itemless. And here, Captain Toad's going to spawn us that extra green star, and we are going to finish off the level. So I should get into the other character differences in this game. So we also have Mario and Peach. So Peach has her float mechanic. So pretty much there is kind of something similar with the catsuit, where if you do a scratch midair, then you would essentially like pause in the air, but you also get that is actually, I did not intend that to be a pun, but the pause, yeah, okay, I'm going with that. That I completely intended. So yeah, so you kind of pause in midair, but you actually get an extra float with Peach. Problem is she's really slow, so we won't be using her too much. And then there's Mario. Mario is an all-rounder, so he's not really the worst character on most levels, but he's never the best, so we're actually not going to see him in his own game at all. And even in the longest run that I've done in this game, which is 380 stars, where you just do every level pretty much, you use him once. And the only reason is because there's a stamp in this level where there's a switch that you have to press with him. For anyone else, it doesn't work. That's the only way they could get him to be useful. Anyway, this one, we're going to be using the touch controls, grabbing the green star with the ball there, the baseball. And that will speed us up rather than have to climb to the top of those stairs. There's loads of tiny things you do with the cursor in this run, like that. And yeah, so finishing off the level there as well. And the other main thing I've been doing so far is tapping green stars as they spawn. So they have a little animation when some of them spawn in, and we can skip that if we touch them with the hand. And that will only save us about a fraction of a second for each one, but there's 170 green stars in this run, and a lot of them we do that for, so it does add up. So coming up, we now have a optional level. So these are kind of off the path. We have to play all the yellow path like levels to unlock the next ones. These aren't on the path, so we don't have to play them, but there are so many like quick free green stars here that we kind of just go for it. So right at the beginning, again, using the gyro controls to hold those Galoombas, and there is a reason for that, because if you tap them, they will just fall upside down, and they still lose 1 HP, but it's a bit harder to hit them. So pretty much there are 2 interactions. You can stun enemies, or you can tap them. So here we're going to stun the Firebro, and then that's the level. That's 5 green stars. So yeah.
This is ridiculous, by the way. Like, I mean, having played casually, just watching you zoom through this is amazing.
Honestly, it feels so much better in this version. Like, the Wii U version was one of the first games I ever speedrun. Definitely one of the like main big speedruns. But in terms of like this game compared to that, like I haven't touched the Wii U version since, and like that's mainly because of the safety of this version. Like, especially for marathons, like if you lose your catsuits in Wii U, you are gonna be really slow. It's kind of like just playing casually, but just sprinting the whole way, because there's not really anything you can do to speed it up. But the speed increases in this version are massive. So yeah, it really helps a lot. We do have a auto scroller coming up, so I will have some time where I like stop talking. Like whenever I think of something in this run, it's kind of like, oh, I need to mention that, otherwise I'm gonna forget it.
You're fine.
But yeah, this is the first level we're going to be seeing the double cherry. That is a new power-up in this game. And it's only a temporary power-up, and we're not going to use it very often. And in fact, we're going to get rid of the clone right now. So by using that clone for those big P-switches, you can grab that, that green star. There is another green star here where you need 4. 4 characters, that is. So you can play a multiplayer, or you can use clones, or you can just climb it and ignore it, because it's just a suggestion, right? It's just a suggestion. Yeah, so we need 170 green stars in here. So we're pretty much grabbing most green stars in most of these levels. And there is a bit of a detour we're going to do later to make sure we get something that we would have got by a glitch in the Wii U version. And yeah, the auto scroller's coming up, so yeah. If there's anything that anyone in chat said, or if there's any messages, then now might be a good time.
Sure. There was a question earlier about, wasn't that a touchscreen, John, on the Wii U version? I'm not sure which that was referring to, but you mentioned how you did used to do the Wii U version as well.
Yes. Yeah, so on the Wii U version, it's interesting how it was implemented in this run, or in this game. So pretty much the way you use the touchscreen, or what was the touchscreen on the Wii U gamepad, which was a feature, basically everything is the exact same, except here, if you press the R button, that will make the emblem appear. I'm going to make it appear basically on every level, because the issue is, to actually use it, you have to press R again. So it will despawn if I don't use it for some time, and I do need the cannon here for the end, the green star at the end, so I will do that. I have lost the cannon many times here, but there are a lot of backups if I do lose it. It's possible to get hit to your own cannonball, so yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of deliberately go out of your way to for it to kind of happen, but yeah, hopefully that won't happen. That's kind of an artifact of like the speed increases. It's a lot easier to end up doing that in this version. But yeah, so it's R to activate the emblem for the gyro controls, and it's also L to recalibrate it to the middle. So that can also be kind of helpful as well. The thing is, when I was learning this at first, I was like, this feels really weird. Like, I'd played the Wii U version, not even like I'd speedrun it, but I'd also played it like casually a lot as well. So I was kind of used to the touchscreen, but to be honest, this is so much easier to use in runs, because taking a hand off the screen in Wii U, it gets a little bit difficult. Like, you kind of have to either let go of the left stick to move, or you have to let go of the buttons, which are like how you're going to be sprinting. So either that, or you use like a really awkward claw grip, which, yeah, it's not great. So this version is a lot easier. I mean, it is quite funny. In one of the levels later, there is a strat I used in my last few runs called nose strats, where you use your nose to tap the blocks that you have to press the touchscreen for. Thankfully, that's not a thing in this version, because that was kind of just as awkward to do. But yeah, I still find that strat really funny.
Only
but yeah,
Mario games.
Yeah, it's always like the gimmicky like motion control thing they had to put in. I mean, recently I've actually been doing 3D Land more. Like, this is my first marathon run of this in about 8 months. So I pretty much was running this like constantly, and then it came to Winter Pride 2023, and I was thinking, right, I've got other games I want to run now, so I'm not going to submit it. And then I didn't have 3D Land ready for submissions for this. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring out 3D World one more time. I'll just give it like a good send-off. So I've been derusting a lot for that. But yeah, even in 3D Land, there's kind of a lot of like gimmicks and stuff that the game just throws out because of the 3DS. So coming up here, we now have Snowball Park. So we are going to be seeing something that is a thing from the Wii U version called Ice Momentum. We're going to use that snowball there. Grab that star. We're going to be mashing crouch a bunch, and the more we mash crouch, the more speed you get. So if you are really good at that, or if you're better at mashing the trigger button than me, then you would be able to get a lot of speed there. And then the green star just off screen on the top there in that ledge, able to use the snowball to grab that as well. It's actually kind of hard to do that and be fast. Normally I end up just barely missing it, or like you reach the top of the tree and it ends up being slow anyway. So that was a good level. But yeah, you can really zoom through that level. It was a lot more noticeable on Wii U because the speed was lower. So you're able to just go pretty much just as fast as this version with that. But yeah, ice works very weirdly in this game. But yeah, we end up with stuff like that. So pretty cool level. I used to use Peach, and the main reason is because of that huge gap in the middle. You can actually jump that gap. It's a little bit risky, and the thing with that is that if I die, then I would be playing the rest of World 3 with one catsuit, which is not great, because basically every other level after this one is going to be one where I kind of want to... so here, yeah, we're just going to use the gyro controls to hold the house still. We're just gonna climb up the side and grab that. And that's another green star done. So here we have the bookshelf skip. So if I get into a very specific spot, then we can actually just activate the correct one. There are two above that you're supposed to stand on to activate. And you can even do that strat itemless. So if you go up to the wall and then do a dive backwards, like a rolling dive backwards, you can actually activate that as well. And that's actually a new addition of movement in this version. So this game, in terms of 3D World Cross Bowser's Fury, came out after Mario Odyssey. So they actually added a new movement option that's kind of similar to the dive in that game. And so it's the move I did just there. And you can do it on the ground or in the air. And it is really useful for, like, it's pretty much the first move I'll be using in every level, just to get a bit of a start boost. And that's another reason why Wii U used to be a lot slower, unless you had Katsu, because that move did not exist there. But yeah, finishing up the level, of course, is Ghost House, so they had to throw in a fake flagpole there. But
of course.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the game gets even more tricksy later. Like, in post-game, so a level we won't see now, there's actually a level where it will just keep sending you in a loop until you realize there's an invisible cloud under the regular platforms that you have to, like, get onto, and then there's just a box in midair. Yeah, that's a really cool level, but it's one of the last ones, but... Yeah, I don't remember how long that took me casually, but yeah, I think that must have been pretty frustrating. So we now have Captain Toad. These are more optional levels. So what we're doing here is we are playing what are normally pretty linear levels. We can go in like slightly different paths sometimes, but for the most part we are just going to be going in order. That's just how this level kind of works. So this is kind of an extra thing before Captain Toad Treasure Tracker came out, and it kind of demos the general like idea of Captain Toad. The levels in the actual Captain Toad Treasure Tracker game are much more fleshed out than this. This is really basic for what Captain Toad has. Later on, we will actually see one extra Captain Toad level, which, to be honest, is one of the more interesting ones if we do meet the itemless incentive. So, yeah, here we are, pretty much the only thing we can do is cut the corner on that plank there. And if we miss that, we fall all the way down because Captain Toad can't jump. And the issue with that is you then have to redo basically the entire level. And you can't, like, quit until you've grabbed all 5 stars. Like, that's basically the goal for the Captain Toad levels here. Or at least in this game. So here, the warp pipes are really slow, so we're just going to warp on the world map and ignore that for this one. And then we're going to move on to this level, very short one. It has a 100-second limit, and there is also a star here we're going to miss. So there is a cloud really far in the distance. Now, unfortunately, that is a bonus area, and as I mentioned earlier, the bonus areas are kind of some of those stars which are slower because they're not on the regular path. You're kind of having to do an extra thing all on its own just to grab a star. So we're not going to be doing those unless we need a backup. So yeah, very quick level because of that. But that is pretty much it. We are coming up to a mini boss. So this is one of the mini bosses that, and with like the difference between Wii U and Switch, to be honest, it feels like this is a little bit easier because of the speed increase. The fact that you have a lot more time to make the cycles for each Magic Koopa here. There we go, grab the star. And yeah, doing the same thing where I'm making the star stop moving early using the hand. But yeah, if I needed to there, you can just like hold on to the Magic Koopas and that will sort of give you a bit more time to hit them. So coming up, we do have a... Oh, go on.
I was going to say, can I break in?
Absolutely, yeah, go ahead. I mean, this is perfect timing. This is a water level. So no one cares about the water levels, so we can... yeah, that's fine. We can have a message, absolutely.
Perfect. We have a $100 donation from Medibot. They say, it's Pride Month. You know what that means. Thank you so much for that donation. And it went towards the Sonic Mania Tails character bid war. So Tails is now very, very thoroughly in the lead at $210. But you still have a chance for those other characters, and it went towards the Shishingo bonus cat showcase. So we're less than $30 off of getting the bonus cats. But I want to remind everyone, you know, we have an hour and a half, probably a little bit less, to get that Super Mario 3D World adding the World Crowd item list. And I just want to say, if you think this is amazing, seeing this item list, so of course we're using the cat suit right now, we won't be able to use the cat suit. It's going to be ridiculous. And we are about $80 away from getting that item list extra bonus run. So remember, put your donations towards a target as well as a poll.
All right, thanks so much. I just want to check. Did I hear that right? Did someone donate with the name Midibot?
Yes.
I don't know where my chat bot is getting the money from, but you know what? I'm here for it. That's cool. I thank you whoever did that. Thanks. That's so funny. So yeah, we had the water level there. Pretty much, there's not much going on there except you can actually deep dive in this game. If you hold the ZL button to dive and you're already in water, you will actually go a lot further, which is a nice little way of speeding up the water levels. It's not immediately obvious how it works, but yeah, it's a pretty nice way. And we did skip another star. That star we skipped was actually in two parts. One of the parts was to grab a cannon box, and the other one was to go into the gap in a wall and then grab a green star in a bonus area. It's just not worth it. Anyway, there what we just did was a little skip where we were able to go around a bunch of invisible death planes. There are so many where you can absolutely survive, and the game just kills you. I have no idea why, but yeah. So we go around those, and we are able to jump straight down to that platform rather than going around the back of the wall there. And yeah, skipping another green star, it's just another area where we're not making progress on the levels. So yeah, that's pretty much the level there. And the ending is really cool. So pretty much the speed increase in this game makes it a lot easier. I used to use Peach on Wii U, but basically you can just do the grounded like new move that I was mentioning earlier from Mario Odyssey, like the little roll, and you're able to pretty much like get a huge boost from the switchboards, and then here we're using Peach. Yeah, you can get a huge boost from the switchboards. I did not want to pause. That's me skipping the cutscene. Yeah, you get a huge speed boost, and then you just kind of extend your hitbox using the cat scratch midair. Okay, so this is another auto-scroller, but we can do a few little skips. So, barely backing that up there. That's fine. So, basically, the further the... that's cool. Okay, nice. Basically, the further I am to the right side here, the more of the screen we're going to skip by jumping between the trains. It's very hard to tell, but each time we do that, if we're all the way on the right-hand side, you're able to skip a bunch of the camera movement. And not only that, there is a pipe we have to get in to grab that Captain Toadstar. Get in the box, thank you. Oops. Yeah, so normally it's kind of slow, and we have to wait until we're on the other side to tap the Captain Toad box, but that is a lot faster. And then here we have Pom Pom, so right at the beginning, gonna get a cheap hit we did not get. That's fine, it's no big deal. Basically, if you do a rolling long jump at the beginning, you can just easily go straight into her and then skip the cycle. But that's fine. So basically, she just spawns in a bunch of clones. This used to be easy on Wii U, because cycles 2 and 3, the smoke for the correct pom-pom was lower. Like, physically lower. But in this version, they patched that. I have no idea why they went out of their way to just do that. But apparently there's, like, a coloured particle you have to watch out for, but I don't know. Like, I pretty much just guess every time. Like, I see an orange particle, and I think, okay, I feel like that might be it. And I feel like I'm just right about an average amount of times, as if I just guessed anyway. So, yeah, I think I just don't know how to do it. But it doesn't matter too much. So that's the end of World 3, but it's actually not really the end. So I'm really happy we got out without losing any of our cat suits. But we are coming up to a level where we are going to get some. And actually, we are going to need to lose some for one of our strats. But this is an extra mini-boss. This is Histocrat. If you think you know easy Mario bosses, think again, and if you've not seen this one, because if you know how to do the strat, which is kind of even easier now there's an extra movement option in this game, yeah, this boss is really easy to choose. The good thing with this boss is there is a cat suit, and when you're doing the mini-boss properly, you do get a bunch of extra cat suits. That's kind of the intended way. So you're supposed to spawn in a bunch of snakes, and then you like climb on the plates they have, and then you just defeat him that way by jumping on it. Or we can just ground pound, and then we can just hit him on the back.
It's this boss and the one with both of them was so hard and casual.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like this one, it really like takes a while to like, okay, so all the snakes are like, some of them are spawning in and they don't have plates. Like you might come into this level and you don't have a cat suit. Like it's actually a little bit harder. And then in Boss Blitz, which is a post-game world, you have to deal with 2 at the same time.
Yes.
And yeah, it is a little bit harder. But here, obviously, yeah, we can just do that strat. You can either do a spin jump or a ground pound, and then, yeah, you just hit him. The thing is, I'm fairly sure it's possible to do it from the front, but it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to get hit by him. Because, like, on that first cycle, he keeps on just turning round until, like, he just reaches you. So if you do it a little bit slower, then you can still get hit doing that. But, yeah, it should be fine each time. But, yeah. We do have another mini-boss that's coming up later that I used to not know a strat for. It used to be a really hard boss fight for me. And then I watched someone else do a run and say, oh, by the way, you can do this strat. I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I realized that and I thought, oh my goodness, this is like changed my life. I used to struggle on that boss and like take damage so much, but yeah, now that's the thing. So we will get there later. It's a lot further. More reasons to stick around, I guess. But we are using Peach again, so you just know whenever we're using Peach, we're going to be doing some platforming stuff to do a little skip. We can use other characters for this, but it's a little bit easier for me to go ahead and use Peach. So here, what we're going to do, there are catsuits on this level, but what we're going to do is we're going to come through here, do the Peach float, grab that green star, and then we are going to get to the top. Just re-grab as well, just to get a bit more momentum. You have higher climb height in this game than on Wii U, but so you generally make that, but yeah, just to be safe. And then we get to the end, and you might notice with without catsuit, you just instantly grab the flagpole, so that is a little bit of time save as well. But yeah, essentially what I just did is a massive skip where if you do that and you take damage, then you can skip having to ride that ant through that whole section. And yeah, it saves a lot of time, so I do go for that. Good thing is, this level has a roulette block, and it's not going to be like the one from earlier. It actually does have a setup. So I will be trying to grab my catsuit back, because I don't really want to be sitting on one catsuit for really long. So this is another level where we're going to be grabbing 3 green stars. This is the warp level for World for 4-2, and this is actually the... okay, we just jumped straight over him. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to be... no, it's fine. No, there's the catsuit later. It's fine. So the good thing with this game is if I really wanted to is I could press try again. That was not a thing on Wii U. It does the regular thing of, oh, you can't quit out until you've beat the level on this save file, which is really annoying for speedrunning. But this version, it lets you try again, and also you can reload your save file without needing to, like, reboot the entire game. Nice. So yeah, that is a really nice thing. And Wii U, it wasn't just rebooting the entire game, it was rebooting the entire game on a Wii U. If you played a Wii U, you know how slow that console is. So it would lose. It would genuinely be faster for me in runs sometimes. Nice save. To go to 1-1, replay the level, and grab 2 catsuits than restart.
Oh wow!
Game. That or go to a Toad House, but that's a little bit of luck involved there. So yeah. So we did manage to re-grab that catsuit, and pretty much the guide for that is the moment you get out of the pipe, you can tap the screen and you get that catsuit. And again, it's another thing that's a little bit easier in this game because you don't have to let go of the controller, unlike on Wii U where you kind of have to like tap the touchscreen and stuff. Like it would still be useful there. But yeah, it's a really nice strat to know. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna retry for this. It's a mini boss. It's just gonna, like, I'm gonna miss out on multiple cool tricks if I don't do that. So yeah. Also, just in general, like those skips save enough time to make that worth it to restart. That's fine. But yeah, grabbing the green star here, and that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, this game was during the year of Luigi as well. I forget that. Yeah, so on the main menu screen there is Luigi Bros. So you can just play Luigi Bros. Which is I don't remember. I haven't played it in ages, but yeah, it's quite funny that is just a thing that's there. And they even went out their way to put it in this game as well, which I find pretty cool. Let's go. So this is another level with Peach. We won't have too many more, but this one is another one that is a lot easier with Peach. And not only that, just a bit safer to do with Peach. Considering I'm only on 1 catsuit now, I would like to keep that. But we are going to be doing a big skip later, which skips the kind of semi-auto-scroller. Like, a lot of things in this game are auto-scrollers, but not really auto-scrollers. So we're going to try and skip it. And it's actually coming up now. So we're going to go in this box, and we are going to go up to the top here. So again, because that is the correct trampoline, you can just kind of tap that one and it activates it. More things with motion controls that make things easier. So here, if I just jump on this enemy and then get to the end, that is the box. We've skipped the trampoline. So there's a better way of doing that. I do the janky way. Because I'm silly and I am bad at doing the way where you actually do it properly. The proper way of doing it is to get a lot of speed from that jump that I just did on that platform, and you actually can just get straight to the cloud platform. If you are like really good at keeping your momentum in midair, if you do a bunch of like extra scratches and stuff like that, that's a good way of keeping your momentum. I can do it, but to be honest, I'm better or more consistent with the janky way. So that's what we do. But yeah, it kind of relies on the like cycles of those enemies there, like kind of lining up. But yeah, generally it's fine. So now we have a mystery house coming up, and this is a little route diversion from Wii U. For the most part, the stuff we're doing in here is pretty much the same as what we would have done on the Wii U version. However, in that game, there was a big skip in World 8 where you could go out of bounds on the world map and physically fall past World 7 and into World 4. Because you might have noticed from this run so far, these optional like Mystery House and Captain Toad levels, they are unlocked from the beginning because they're not actually on the path. So what you can do is if you can physically get to the level, then you can just play it, like even if you've not played the rest of the world. So it was a really, really cool trick. Unfortunately, in this game, it is not a thing. It got patched. However, there is a way of doing it with 3 controllers. It is a massive pain. I believe there was a category a while ago where, because in this category it's banned, but in something like the longer categories, like 380 stars, multiple characters is actually allowed because some of the levels are like there's actually a level where it's impossible to get every collectible in one go without 2 players. So yeah, it's kind of allowed there, but not in any percent. But yeah, basically, if you do that skip, you can do the same kind of concept, fall into World 4, fall onto that tiny little island with the Mystery House, and then that is how you can play that level, get 10 green stars. So that pretty much meant that the route on Wii U was 4-1, 4-2, warp pipe, let's go to World 5. This time, because that's not a glitch, we have to go back to 4-2 and play the level again with no stars. We're just going to rush straight through because we've already grabbed everything. The stamp as well there is slow to grab. Obviously, the good thing with this is that we get to get another cat suit. We won't really need them because World 5 is super generous with them. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works there. And then that's the warp pipe, and we're done. Yep. What you could do is you could just do the rest of World 4. So there are only 2 more levels left, but it is actually just worth going back to 4-2, doing the warp pipe there.
Let me know when is a good time to cut in.
We have a Captain Toad level coming up, but there's interesting route stuff coming up after that. So I guess, yeah, jump in now, and then I'll explain that stuff after.
Okay, we just had a donation from Baba Is You for $1,000.
Wow.
Saying,
oh my goodness.
Thank you for the speedruns for good cause. Have fun. And with that $1,000, we have met the World Crown item list by like a huge amount. Thank you so much for that amazingly generous donation. I'm a little speechless, but yes, we get more marathon. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's get hype in chat.
All right, I am so glad that I have practiced that all of this morning then to make that worth it. That's literally all I've done. Like, I wasn't fully sure like what we were doing with the incentive because I didn't actually check the incentive before this morning, and I saw it was on there. I thought, okay, I'm gonna do some practice. I'm gonna see if we can get better because, as I say, I've not done a marathon run of this in 8 months, so hopefully it will go okay because it can be difficult sometimes. As long as I get to show off most of it, I'm happy. Because
there you go.
Who knows? But yeah, that is super generous. Whoever did that, thank you so much. That is incredible. But yeah. Anyway, I have just realised I've done this in a slightly different order, but that is fine. It is literally like 1 second difference. It's nothing. So pretty much the route here, it's kind of a similar thing to what I was just talking about on Wii U. So where we are playing more levels here, hang on, there we go. Where we're playing like different kind of levels here, we're kind of going to be doing something in a moment, which we would have done at a different time on Wii U. But basically, there is a thing at the bottom of the World 5 world map, the physical world map, where if you spawn in the green pipe, just by like tapping A, it spawns in a green pipe, just as a little extra secret. And over there is just a bonus area again with those panels, so it's slow. But yeah, basically if you use the warp pipe, we're going to go all the way back to World 1 and do a similar thing that I was just talking about, where we can play the Captain Toad level early. But yeah, this level is pretty interesting. There is actually a way of skipping collecting those keys. You need the keys to unlock the box to get in here, to play the Plessy section, which is required. This is the only Plessy you're going to get in the run, unfortunately.
Aw.
Plessy's kind of... I used to use Plessy a little bit more, but her levels are a little bit slower. And, yeah, but at least we do get to see her at some parts because obviously she's revived.
Bye, Plessy.
Plessy is adorable, absolutely. I mean, there is a huge skip in 380 stars involving like Plessy and using 2 controllers that I was hinting at earlier that I still never learned when I was running this game actively. But yeah, maybe I should come back just to learn that, just to show Plessy some love. But yeah, that is the level there. We are now on 76 green stars. That is going to become notable. We now have a fork in the road. So we have the circus level there, or we have a Bowser statue. Now, you might have noticed in the run so far, we've not been playing the Bowser statue levels. They're all a bit, like, slow. You have to have enough green stars to play them anyway. In fact, the one in World 2 is the only World 2 level with catsuits that is on the main route. But we don't play it here because it's a massive, long auto-scroller. So we're not going to do that. But yeah, here, it's actually good. So we're going to go back to World 1, like I said. We are going to do these stars out of order as well because of the way the cycles work on this level. Also, funny thing, in the World 3 Captain Toad level, because that was the first one we played in the route here, we had a bunch of text boxes to mash through. Here we don't, because we already saw them. So we're actually not going to need to do that here, so we're going to just be able to go straight onto that platform there, hopefully make the cycle I want to with that yellow lift. If you remember the Wii U version, you might remember that these were actually the microphone control platforms. So there is no microphone on the official like Switch controllers, not any like Joy-Cons or Pro controllers. So they decided to just replace them with yellow lifts. So it works a little bit differently here. But yeah, very quick 5 green stars again. Actually going in the wrong order there is a lot faster. So now we've done that, we are going to go back again. And this level is unlocked, by the way, but you don't actually see it at the beginning of the run because of the bridge doesn't actually spawn to get to that side until you finish the mini boss, which is after 1-2. So literally, there's so many things going on in this game that are like physically in the world map. Like it's a bit of a boring world map, but there is stuff that's like a little bit interesting like that. Anyway, you can see why this level is getting quicker because you can already see the flagpole. You can climb that. You don't even need to climb that. You can just use... I might as well get the flag now. You can do this itemless and still skip using the double cherries. Like, this level is so silly. But yeah, that's pretty much the level. That's 3 green stars. And even when I used to do the other level, there is 1 really long green star in there. So... yeah, it's just better to do this one. So we go all out of our way. We even do the Bowser statue unlock cutscene. That's all faster than playing that other level.
Wow.
So now we have another mini boss. Hopefully we're able to get this in 1 swipe. So this is another cool cutscene thing. Nice. So by doing the area of effect that you get when you like do the pounce there when you land. If you hit a charge and chuck, which is those enemies, if you hit them directly, they lose both HP in 1 go. So by doing that, then you can just hit them straight away. There is a faster way, and actually people have said it's more consistent, I think. Or at least people like go for it more than that strat. But pretty much if you like go forward there, then that's actually technically faster because like they all gather in the middle. But I've never went for that. I find more success with this. It doesn't really save that much time, but yeah, it's a cool strat for a mini boss. So we now have a really nice, huge level. It's a great level. Well, if I can actually get in a pipe and get level. It's a great level to practice with vectoring because, as you can see, there's a huge area coming up where you can just kind of jump around and explore a little bit. I feel like this would have been one of the levels. I don't remember how they promoted this game. Probably not very well because it was a Wii U game, but like they probably did use this level for their promotions. I feel like because it's pretty cool. So we can jump around here, get a bit more speed, and you can actually use that cannon to get here a little bit faster. Or if you're not already got some speed, you can get there a bit faster. So grabbing that star, and then we're just going to mash through these. And then, same thing as we've been doing throughout the whole run, we are going to be using the cursor to kind of stun these platforms. If we just alternate between the two, then they will never move while we're just grabbing all those green coins. Again, using the touch controls. It's funny because the last event, Winter Pride, I think I ran Wii Play, and that game is very much point and click in places. And it all makes sense now. It all makes sense why I also like 3D World. Like, there's so much of this in the run. But yeah, that's the level. We're moving on to a few that are actually a little bit harder for the platforming. So we now get introduced to the flip panels. So these came from Mario Galaxy, and because not every character has a spin in this game, the only one who does is Rosalina, who is unlocked for post-game. And you also don't have your spin if you have any items, so yeah, that's kind of sad for the speedrun. You don't really get to use it very much. But even then, because not every character has a spin, they kind of had to do it in a different way. So it's every time you jump that the flip panels change. And it can be a little difficult unless you know the layout of the level, you know exactly what you want to do with each one. And this is actually one of the first levels in the game where that green pipe in the middle, that is a green ball star. So that's another kind of extra area. Basically, how this works is like, there's a green ball in the distance, and if you jump, you like change the flip panels, and then you get it to the bottom, and then grab the green star. Yeah, it's really long, so we're not going to be doing it unless we need like backups later on. But those stars are all kind of cool. They're all stars that you kind of see in the longer runs, like 380 stars or stuff like that. So now what we're going to be doing is skipping a lot of this platforming. There's a bunch of stairs here. We don't need stairs. We have catsuit. So we can just climb. And actually turning that corner a little bit carefully just to keep my speed. Yeah, the way, like, some of these areas are like they just were designed for vectoring, because that is like hard to not vector. I also pet the little because why not? That's my excuse for the fact that it's genuinely so much easier to just stun the bullet bill there, because that one is on the top path, so it's pretty much like on the same line as we are. So it's actually easier to do that, but also like that's not the main reason. It's the pet bullet.
Yeah, of course.
So we're now done with that. We actually managed to get that green star. Basically, there are a bunch of grey bricks there. You can't break them yourself. You can only break them with like a mega mushroom, which obviously there isn't in this level. Or bullet bills can go into them. So that level works by like if you go into the spotlights, then the bullet bills activate. But what you can do is you can just climb, and then if you press X when you're in like on the hole, you can just get in there. If you just hold up, then you just won't go in, which is kind of silly, but yeah, that's how that area works. So we now have another Katsu level coming up. Oh yeah, that's good timing for a Katsu level actually. That was silly. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, there are two catsuits here. One of them is there, and we are coming up to these last few levels for a moment where there are lots of catsuits. So there are going to be a few in World 6 as well. And then we get to what I call Gauntlet in the run, which is pretty much an entire world consecutively, kind of like at the beginning, where you don't get any extra catsuits. So you do kind of want to be careful trying to keep them. There is another one there. I'm going to try not to grab it though, because I want to get this green star. Nice. So the way that section works is the cycles line up kind of well to just grab the catsuit there. Sorry, the green star there. So there are two boxes. One of them does have a green star and one of them doesn't. So if it falls, then you do have to wait for it to respawn. But yeah, if you're fast enough there, which again, speed boost in this game is a little bit easier, you can just grab that one. And then, again, more easy mini-bosses. If you stand in the same place every time with this one, it will always do the same thing. So there's not a lot to do here. Although, there have been times where I've been like close to getting it. So still do want to be careful, because those spikes will hit you pretty generously. And then that's
he looks so sad.
Yeah, he kind of just... Yeah, it's unfortunate that these bosses are just kind of the same thing each time. But yeah, it's Mario.
It
It's
is.
nothing new. It's a
By the
fair and
way,
square victory. That is true.
I know there have been a lot of cat jokes and cat puns and talks of cat suits, and I just want to remind everyone we still have that Shishingo bonus cat showcase where I know we didn't get to pet Plessy, but we can pet cats later with Shishingo. If you want to get your donations in, remember to put them towards both a target and a poll.
There are more cats today. Oh my god.
Yes, more cats.
Everyone must stick that.
Luigi time! Let's go!
So we now have another level where we're going to be doing a bit of platforming skip stuff. This is another level where a lot of clear pipes are used, so you can kind of see what you're doing in the clear pipes. I think they were introduced in this game. So yeah, you're supposed to get in that box, but basically what you can do is you can just climb around on the clear pipes and just ignore it. And the funny thing is, on Wii U, that wouldn't really have been worth doing. But there's a thing in this game where, or on Wii U rather, one of the fewest things, very, very few things, that was actually better on Wii U in terms of speed. And that is when you get out of a warp box, which are these orange boxes. I missed. That's fine. If you get into an orange box, or the purple mystery boxes, basically you used to keep your momentum. That is not a thing here. Same with clear pipes, you used to keep your momentum. So there was actually an incentive to kind of actually do good movement rather than jump around and be silly. Pretty much. So here that is patched for whatever reason. So you can't keep your momentum. So pretty much it makes that early skip a little bit easier. It looks really hard, but as long as you just do the same thing every time, you always just hold the same directions. I don't really jump very early. I just like to stick to the clear pipe and just be safe around it. You can climb on clear pipes as well. So if you start to fall and then you somehow manage to re-grab the clear pipe, then you can climb it using the cat suit, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it's a nice little skip. It doesn't save much time, but it's cool, right? So that's all we do.
Yeah.
Luigi time!
And now talking of stuff where we're going to be... we've been talking about levels where we're, like, skipping green stars because they're doing, like, bonus areas. How about, like, half the level? That's what this one is. So, pretty much here, actually kind of a slow green star, which we do grab there. But here we are going to be skipping that box. And because, again, it's easier to platform with like the cool stuff in this game, you can just jump around those. You can climb on those planks there though to skip that. But yeah, we're just gonna tap all these bullies into the hole. And that hole, that is one of the meanest ones in the game because that is a hole that you can't climb in. The moment you get in that hole, you are dead. So
Oh boy.
yeah. Good thing is next level is a catsuit level, so it's fine really. But yeah, so that's pretty much the level there. But if we went into that box, we would have had to do an entire section in the shipwreck. So you get a star in there, and you also get, although it's a bit of a water section, and you also get the stamp. But the stamp, I didn't really mention it earlier, but the stamp, basically every time you get one, it does this little animation, and like after the level, of it putting it in your stamp collection. And stamps are like a thing carried over from Miiverse, which are still a thing in this game because it would kind of be odd to just get rid of them because they were collectibles in their own right. And you do actually need them to unlock the final world. So they're kind of still here. And you can use them for screenshots as well, so they repurpose them kind of well. But here you lose like several seconds whenever you grab them. So we're not going to be doing that. Anyway, here, yeah, there are some big skips here. That is one that is a bit unnecessary. That's another one where it's like, I don't really need to do that to make the cycle, but it's cool. So we're doing it again. I'm noticing a pattern. But so what we've done now is we've managed to skip because we've been fast enough. We've managed to make this cycle. And would you believe me if I said there's actually a faster cycle than that one?
What?
Because it's barely ever been used at world record level But essentially, you can do this level with any character. And I prefer to do it with Peach because the way the level works is like, you make the cycles, the rafts are on global cycles. So as long as you just do everything in the same way, the only way you're going to lose time with Peach is the last little section between the box and the flagpole. Because that is the section where Peach is slow. Everywhere else is just like, you're just waiting for the raft anyway. So Peach only actually loses about a second on that level. I can do it with other characters, but again, safety is nice, so that's what we're doing. But there is a faster strat than vectoring in this game. It's called crouch boosting. So if you are able to crouch, essentially crouching, what that does is it gives you a tiny bit of extra speed, and then you kind of just lose it. Okay? But what you can do is if you do a certain button combination within a small window of like several frames, then you will actually preserve the speed you got from that crouch. And that's kind of why Luigi is really good in this game too, because he's really slippery, and he kind of is easier to do crouch boosting with as well. You can do it with anyone, but yeah, he's kind of the best one. And you need to do crouch boosting to make that early raft cycle. People call it lightning cycle. I feel like that's a justified name, because if you want to see what is, in my opinion, one of the coolest tricks in this run, yeah, go watch World Record, because I believe, unless it's changed and somehow it isn't used there anymore, then that is present in there, and it is a treat to watch, because it is so hard to make those. Like, those cycles save so much time. So, like, I'm talking like 10 plus seconds. Wow. So you pretty much have to do the entire level, like, 10 seconds faster. So, yeah, it's hard. Also, yeah, we don't need to climb on the wheel. We can just spin. We're doing more climbing to skip things. This is what happens when Nintendo gives us a catsuit that lets us not platform. We will be doing that later, though, but with itemless, because one of the levels in the itemless incentive, which has obviously now been there, one of those levels does pretty much the exact same mystery box, but of course we'll be doing it itemless, so it's a little bit different. But later on, that will actually have 30 stars. So all these mystery boxes that have like 5 or 10, you have to do them in one go, and if you die, then you have to redo the entire thing. Yeah, the same thing there for the 30 green star one. So it kind of gets a lot of practice whenever the incentive comes up. But hopefully it goes well. We do have a lot of strats to do it, and I'm actually one of the only people who's run a category. It's so silly, but it's called 242 stars itemless, and basically that is the maximum number of stars you can get in this game purely without grabbing any permanent power-ups. So you can grab like mushrooms because they're considered temporary, or like double cherries or stuff like that. Because like technically you could get a mushroom from a checkpoint.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately there is one green star out of the entire like early game, so no post-game stuff. There is one green star that you can't get without an item, and that is the that is a star where you have to light up candles using a fire flower. And ironically, I think the same thing happens in 3D Land. So pretty much 242 stars, you end up doing a lot of strats that are like exclusive there, and you kind of end up doing similar stuff than we will see later on in Crown Itemus. Anyway, this is another auto-scroller you might have noticed, but there are a lot of camera skips you can do. Yeah. So pretty much, I do need to be careful there, but I didn't do the big one, but I was able to skip one in the middle there. So pretty much there was that section with that last green star, or that second green star rather, where if you climb to the top, you skip the camera, and then you can dive back down again, grab the green star, and the fuzzies won't catch you, because the fuzzies are basically like what are making you go fast, because they are an instant death if you get hit by them. But yeah, that the early camera skip that I didn't go for, you pretty much have to play the entire first section blind. And not only that, like there's a bunch of like crushers and stuff like that. And also if you're on the wrong side when you get to the top, for some reason, even though it's a cloud platform, so technically you shouldn't die, you just die from it. So
Oh,
it's really difficult. But yeah, I don't go for it, but it's big time save. Anyway, more silliness with the touch controls. We are going to be skipping a lot of stuff here by not doing what the game wants us to, which is grabbing the balls and like actually doing what is a fairly hard level, especially this section. This part's really hard to do in 10 seconds. You have to like knock the balls into those panels in 10 seconds. So you pretty much get one go at each one. Like, that's really hard. Honestly, one of the hardest stars in the game, I would say. But yeah, we can just tap the panels and tap the power block and grab the ball. So yeah, it turns out to be one of the funny levels in here. Coming up now, we have yet another auto-scroller. That is not the character I'm supposed to use, but it doesn't make much of a difference here. It's okay. So normally... Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I interrupt with a donation then?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, this is pretty long. There's one camera skip and that's it, so yeah.
Perfect. All right, we have $10 from Barakiel saying, donating for more cats and Knuckles. Thank you so much. Knuckles, unfortunately, is, pretty far behind in our Sonic Mania bid war at only $22 compared to Tails at $210. But you never know. I have seen some really big comebacks. And I just want to let everyone know, of course, we still have a lot more marathon to come. We're opening new incentives. So we do still have that Sonic Mania character bid war open, but now we have more polls open as well. Link's Awakening DX later today, we now have a category bid war of allowing save and quits or no save and quits. And you can put your money towards that. Also, there's a Lena's Inception art style bid war, either 8-bit or 32-bit style. And one more target, since we're close to the Shishingo bonus cat showcase, though we're not quite there yet, of Sonic Dream Team. So later today, it is supposed to be just a run. A normal, standard speed run. However, if we can raise $300 towards that, we will upgrade that run to a race, and Argic is going to race HUDs in Sonic Dream Team. So, I want more cats. I want more Sonic. I am excited about all of these. Get your donations, ! Donate in chat. And remember, put your money towards both a target and a poll.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're donating, definitely be thinking towards the incentives and targets. And yeah, honestly, Sonic Dream Team is such a fun run to watch. I've not played the game, but it looks pretty interesting, especially with like the updates and stuff that have come out for that.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually kind of a level now where it's kind of similar to, it reminds me of Champions Road in this game, and it honestly makes me want to get the game just to like see what it is like and like play that, because it honestly looks really cool. But yeah, it looks like they've done a great job with that game. So that run is awesome. So yeah,
yes.
Please stick around for that. So we have another mini boss coming up. I did hint at this one earlier. This one is Motley Boss Block. So it's not as silly as Histocrat. He does actually put off a fight. And it's a bit of a unique one. It's kind of similar to the double cherries that there are in this game, where he's gonna like spawn in a bunch of extra blobs, but the main boss we need to kill, it actually is a lot easier if you do this strat. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna walk around the edge, and he's never gonna hit us, on that part anyway. And he will always go towards the middle. I did not know this for several years of running the game. But basically, yeah, if you just run around, not even run, you just walk around. Like, I'm not even holding the run button at the moment. I'm just walking.
What?
Like, you just avoid it. The boss later on, like, there are 3 versions of this fight. So there's the grey one here, there's the gold one later, which in my opinion is the hardest one. And then you also have the cherry one, which is in boss pits. Now, cherry is the hardest casually, but basically, the gold one spawns like energy beams that you have to avoid every time he jumps. But the gold ones are slower than the cherry ones. Oh, come on. That's okay. Doing that once in the run is not too bad. That's okay. But yeah, basically, the cherry one, like the beams go so fast that they pretty much get out of the way at the exact same pace that you're moving at. So when he like splits into the blobs and the boss himself, he actually just kind of doesn't have any beams that are in the way, but later on we're going to see the gold ones. They all kind of overlap and they're all kind of awkward spots. So yeah. It's just a funny thing where they kind of try to make things harder and it actually ends up making the boss a bit easier. Yeah. Unfortunately, we won't see the cherry version of that boss because that is in Boss Blitz, and that is not one of the levels we'll be seeing later. But that level is very long. But it's another one where, like, if you die, you have to redo the entire thing. So maybe it's for the best.
Okay, I mean, I have been in awe this whole time, but playing this level, this set of levels casually, like, was so hard. And you're just like, nah, it's nothing.
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because these are some of the hardest, like, not necessarily tricks, but the main difficulty in the run is the characters you pick. And we're going to see that coming up in some of these levels later. I am very lucky I didn't get hit there. Yeah, so here I'm using Luigi. He's fast at jumping around. He doesn't have Peach's float. And there, it looks like you get hit by a fireball. But basically, when you're on the flagpole, you can't get hit, so we're all okay. Yeah, so that's fine. But, yeah. So, a lot of the time I used to use Peach. But I started to implement Luigi a little bit more. We're going to see that coming up. We will use Peach for the next one, for a reason that I will explain soon. But the level after is the main... Like, there's a couple of levels coming up in this world where I use some difficult strats, and especially Luigi on the next level. It's not this one. Where it kind of makes it harder because you don't have that float that Peach has. But of course, he's faster, so we're going to be trying to go for it. It makes it a lot more impressive, and we will actually be using Luigi later for World Crown Item List just to make it a little bit harder, / possible for one of the levels because, yeah, his higher jump is the only reason we're able to do that incentive. So we have these boost pads here, and the mechanic here is that I've been talking about like character speeds. The boost pads make everyone the same speed. So there's no reason not to use Peach. And ironically, in this version, I'm not sure if it's the same on Wii U, you actually want to avoid them if you're playing as Toad because he's that fast.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so if you play this with any character, and it's actually like, it's kind of better to play it as Peach because, again, the only place you're going to really lose time is that beginning where you don't have the boost pad speed. Obviously, the good thing is you have the float, and the best thing is that game is one of the most broken levels. Like, I've not played some of the more notorious broken Mario games like Mario Sunshine and stuff, but in terms of no disrespect to Mario Sunshine, but that level that I just played is one of the worst ones for jankiness of like dropped inputs and stuff. Because basically sometimes you will just get a dropped input there and it just kind of sucks. And the good thing with Peach's float is you can avoid you can avoid like falling into the pit if you are lucky with kind of using that float to recover yourself. So you can see why I'm using Luigi here. The way the platforms are spaced, it makes it a lot easier to... Nice save, specifically because of the extra movement option in this version. I don't think I could run this game now without that trick. Going and running 3D Land without using this movement option is honestly like it took a bit of getting used to. That's actually a gold. I'm not surprised about that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't expect to see many of those in here because yeah, that's pretty cool though. So that skip in the middle, that's actually one of the harder ones. So where I skip that platform, you're using those global cycles of those platforms spawning in, and you want to make it onto that island there where the stamp was, but you can actually avoid collecting the stamp. So you try to just get to the edge of the platform. If it's looking a little bit sketchy, you just take the hit and get the stamp. That's fine, honestly. This is also fine. We are coming up to the only level in the entire world where we have another catsuit coming up. Please, can we get lucky? Oh my goodness. Okay, well that's my fault. That's okay. You know what? No, I'm gonna retry. I don't want to be on one catsuit. Or, well, one when we get to the next level. I want to try and one-cycle this. We did have the RNG there, but basically how this works is he throws out a bunch of extra rocks, and that one's going to get hit, so I'm going to save him. Nice. So, basically, he moves, like, slightly towards you each time. I never really realized this, but he just slowly gets closer to you, and it's a bit easier to get hit. But yeah, basically he spawns in 3 rocks, and it's a 3-cycle fight. So if you can keep the other 2 from getting hit to the rocks, then you do save a bit of time there. But yeah, that is that level there, and we're coming up to, once again, the only level in this entire world with 1 catsuit. It doesn't even... Normally a catsuit level, I'm like talking about catsuit levels, and there are 2. Normally there's like 1 at the beginning and there's 1 after the checkpoint. No. There's 1. So this is really mean in terms of like keeping catsuits in. So we're gonna grab that one, definitely. Good thing is, because we already had one, we can just skip that section to the right and we can just climb that part there. So we're gonna get these magic Koopas and grab this green star. And then, so we can get into this lift, or we can just not. So we're gonna just long jump down. And if I hold ZL here, then we won't get the like perfect landing animation. There's kind of like an animation there, which makes that a little bit slower. Unfortunately, because I was so fast, these enemies are on a bit of a difficult cycle. I mean, what I could do is I could just avoid them and just not get hit to them. But that is very easy to say and not very easy to do. It's so easy to get hit to these. But yes, basically, like, all of the time, I'm going to be just going through, picking off each one as I can. And yeah, here, very tiny thing, but if you grab the one of the first keys last, then not only does it activate the fuzzies at the top a little bit easier so you can, like, turn around, but also the camera doesn't have to move as far. It's like a really, really, really tiny thing. But it's still a thing.
I was going to say, but we're speedrunners, so...
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that level used to be such fun for me, but yeah, it's a lot nicer when you can just use Toad and just zoom through it all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have not speedrun this game, but I have played it casually, and oh my gosh, like, I remember this whole world was just difficult, and watching you zoom through it, it's just like, whoa, okay, I have to go back and try some of these.
Yeah, honestly, it's so fun to do the struts on this version. It just feels a lot faster, a lot smoother. And obviously the motion controls as well, like, add so much more freedom of not really having to rely on the gamepad for those tricks, which is also cool. I'm going to charge up my sprint speed here. Captain Toad gets sprint speed very slowly. But what we're going to be using is the gyro controls to stop these thwomps from going in the wrong places from where we want them to be. So here, this one's at the top, we want it to be there. This one's at the bottom, we want it to be there. And I fell. Okay, so we're now going to have to do that section again. That's fine. As long as I don't die here, that's okay. So we're going to, again, make him stay there. Basically, every thwomp is either going to be in the right position from being down or up. But yeah, you can use those controls there and keep them in the places you want them to actually be in. And yeah, using a bit of a claw grip there because you have to use the right stick to move the camera on this level. And it's a little bit easier to kind of navigate everything. It would kind of be a bit more of a nerf, really, if you're playing that level without moving the camera at all. But, oh well, especially because of the gyro controls. Like, you wouldn't even be able to hit some of them. But yeah, that is that level, and we are coming up to another fairly difficult one in terms of the strats I do here. Getting hit on that platform, that's okay. We're still going to try and go for this strat, so we're going to get that and barely make it. So it looked like that was close, but there's a thing in this game where like it looks like you're kind of walking on the lava because of those platforms. Like you can actually stand on those platforms for about an extra half a second, and it for some reason doesn't kill you. So that's kind of cool. So there's a little bit of leniency there, but it's not much. And I still do prefer to use Peach here. Now, there's one tiny skip I'm not going for just for safety, and that is because that guy's there. Those are instant kills if you get hit to those, and the issue with that is you can skip using that clear pipe. The problem with that is if you do that, you are having to make a huge like moon jump to the other platform, which is pretty long. Obviously, we are using Peach, so we have the float, so it's possible. And that's a way of like skipping the trigger for that enemy to spawn. There is a way of doing it if you're a little bit closer though, but the problem is if you activate him, then you might end up just barely getting clipped and then obviously having to redo some of that level there. So we are coming up to the first level with like a required gate. We need 130 stars for that, and we're going to be playing as Toad. This is one of the few levels where we're going to need something that is not a catsuit to grab a star. So we're going to hit this boomerang, bro, grab the boomerang, and we are going to go down here, grab that green star, and we actually have to make that a lot easier, use a wall jump to grab that. Change back to catsuit here to grab that one, although that is possible itemus. And another one that is technically possible itemus in this version, but not in Wii U. The only star that applies for, by the way, is that one. And the reason is, Wii U, when you die, you don't keep your collectibles. Here you do. There you go. You can actually skip having to kill these, but I am just going to be safe and do it. It's a bit of a difficult jump. Yeah, so here, what you do in the 242 stars itemless run is you actually like roll into that star straight into the lava and you keep the collectible. So on Wii U, that wouldn't be possible, but here it is, which is cool. Anyway, boss fight. This is a boss fight that would have been in World 1. We didn't see because of the warp pipe, but hopefully we're going to get through quite quick. So basically, as long as we're moving forward, which is what I'm doing by kind of being a bit sneaky about it, we're crouching, we're still moving forward, so he's still throwing out fireballs and these footballs. But if we hit him in the face, points appear. And that is like the cue for, that is a cycle finished. If you hit the car with a ball, that actually takes 3 balls for points to appear. So it ends up being a 9-cycle fight. So it's a really long one. Not just that, but if you're like moving forward at a normal pace, like walking forward, that fight is really long. Like you have to jump past like lava geysers, and if you get to the end of a path, then he like jumps the car across a comically large gap, and then you have to use the box to like warp to him. Obviously, using that strat, we can just skip all that, and that's mainly possible because of the touch controls there, the gyro controls we're using.
So yeah. No. We have freed all of the fairies.
Yes, so, well, we freed all of them except the 2 we didn't get in World 1 4. They're actually not there in that cutscene.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of a nice touch. Like, if you use... I mean, not that they're still, like, captured, but, you know.
No,
but yeah, it's kind of a neat little thing that they're not in the cutscenes. But yeah, so... Basically, yeah, they have now been captured. We have one more world to do. It's the Funky Bowser world. Everyone seems to know this one.
Well, I'm going to interrupt really quick. Just as a reminder, maybe you're just joining us. This is Power Up with Pride 2024. We're on day 3. We have both today and tomorrow still to go, and we are raising money for True Colors United. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ+ young people. And we have a bunch of incentives open, including that Sonic Dream Team upgrading the run for HUD's 601 to a race with Argic later. So if you want to do that ! Donate, put your donation towards both a target and a poll. But now we can pay attention to this just ridiculous gameplay.
Yeah, so there's just constant in this level, just constant skipping warp boxes. This is pretty much the only one we're required to go in. Well, I mean, you can probably make that jump, but yeah, it's not really worth it. You just use the box there. But you can skip all these, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So essentially, oh, let's climb back up. That's fine. So it's quite funny. That way round is a little bit different to this way. So because we're going backwards here, you don't get straight on the platform. You might have noticed this, a tiny difference. The first one there, because it was going towards us, we just instantly get on the platform, that's it, done. The other one, that is really hard to recover on Wii U, because you don't have the extra movement option of being able to, like, do the mid-air roll. So that has, yeah, that's ruined me many times on that version when I used to run that, but yeah, thankfully here you can just skip that cycle really easily, and we did skip a star in there as well. It's only a mystery box star, but yeah, it's kind of just out of the way a little bit. You do have to climb to get to the box as well, so yeah, we don't do it. So now, oh, go ahead.
I have a really silly question. Is
Oh,
this
go ahead.
world Bowser, or how do you call these worlds when it's world symbol? You know?
Well, on my splits, it says, I just got it as the numbers, so I just say World 7, World 8. Thing is,
Okay.
later, I think on 380 stars, because on post-game, you get World Star, and then you get World Mushroom, and then World
Yes.
Flower, and then, obviously, later we get World Crown for the incentive. Because apparently we just stopped at 8. No, we didn't even stop at 8, we stopped at 6. Oh, I skipped a star. Wait, no, you know what? Oh, okay. Well, we died. That's fine. That was all silly. That's okay. We will go back then, I guess, to get the stars posted. That's fine.
I distracted you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine. So yeah, here there's the stamp, and then on the next one, there is the mystery box. So we're gonna grab that one. But yeah, I don't know why that's a thing in this game. Like the the way they just like gave up on the numbers. Like I guess they kind of wanted to make you think, oh, World Castle's the final one, and then this actually ends up being one of the Mario games that has the most post-game worlds. It's pretty cool. Even if most of the extra levels are just like rehashes of like existing levels in the run. So yeah, we do have one star we skipped, and that is in that island right in the corner, which we're not going to do here. But yeah, that's really the only like big costy time loss in the run so far, so that's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Currently, as a bit of a check, we are on a pace for. I am not gonna like. This is pretty much the world where it can change the most, but at the moment we are on pace for about a 140. So
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty good. Especially again, I haven't run this game a lot. I've been doing a lot of practice, definitely a lot more practice than most times I've run this for a marathon. But yeah, obviously a little bit rusty. So yeah, pretty happy with this. So we have another cutscene, another auto scroll coming up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if this is rusty, I mean, I'm still amazed.
Well, the funny thing is, the first run that I did like a couple of weeks ago, I actually was above estimate, and I thought, right, okay, that's serious to me now. I need to actually put some proper effort into this, get back to where I was, or at least near to where I was, and actually make sure I can beat this. Because a lot of the time I used to submit 150 as the estimate, and I thought, well, it is 150, but it's also like every run I'd done before that. Like I hadn't had any run that'd been over 145. And yeah, at least now I've done enough derusting to kind of be in as comfortable a position as I would have been back then. But yeah,
By
this
the
has all
way,
been
is-
pretty cool so far.
Is the question mark block just for fun, or is it actually useful?
Oh yeah, that's a fun.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not really a reason to grab that. So that's another thing. I mean, technically, I almost went in the door. Okay, that door actually kills you instantly because you go back into the door and you end up behind the camera. So I've done that in a run before, and because you have to redo the entire level again, yeah, that's a massive pain. So I'm glad that didn't happen. Yeah, so that question mark block, basically, if you get hit with that, you don't lose your capture. Not only that, but also there's literally, you don't lose any time. So it saved me like once, I think. So once is better than 0, so I might as well just do it for safety, right? Especially because I'm only on 1 catsuit now.
Yeah, it's technically a safety strat.
Exactly.
And then it's also fun.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of fun and saved like 0.5 seconds in this run. That's what we want.
Also,
another...
chat was distracted by the cookies.
Oh yes, cookies. Yes. It's funny. I didn't used to do that level. It used to be faster for me doing the Plessy level, and then I like retimed it because it used to be half a second faster for me to do the Plessy level. But then the Plessy level takes half a second longer to travel to on the map, so it's like, okay, well, I might as well just do the Plessy level. It's safer. Can we not dive off the edge, please? Yeah, so now we do the cookie level. But yeah, I like the cookie level. The cookie level is very nice aesthetic. So now we have this level where we're just going to make the platforms invisible. How about that? But thing is, we can use the gyro controls to just reveal where the platforms are. And obviously, once you've played the levels a few times as well, you just kind of get used to roughly where they are. But also, this is much easier again on Switch because of the fact that I can just mash R to just keep on revealing where the platforms are. Wii U, you'd have to let go of the buttons and you'd have to, like, let go of possibly of sprint speed or whatever to do that. So yeah, if you want to get into one of these versions, I would definitely recommend Switch as like the safest one. And yeah, just the most welcoming, really. What? That's another gold. Oh my goodness, this is like really surprising. Like all these hard levels, of all the levels to gold, it's 7-4 and 8-4. Like, yeah, okay. Like these used to be. I hate to think how many hours of practice I've put into like 5 levels in this game because they're always such a problem. This one included. This one is one we're going to be using Peach for, the last Peach level in the run. I can use anyone here, but yeah, Peach is the easiest and also the one that I just find the best to do the skips with. So basically, oh, no, we're not doing that. We are reloading the save. So this is a thing you can do in this game where you can reload the save and get straight back to where you were. Obviously, we're going to lose a little bit of time for it, but we are coming underestimate anyway, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. In fact, it's going to be faster for me to do that anyway. So we can get back our cat suit. That basically resets our power-ups to before we did the level. Even if you die, that will still work. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice thing. So what we can do is we can do it properly this time. Do a cat scratch, do a float, and then dive. Get to the end. That's it. That's that.
Whoa!
Let's grab that green star. And then we're pretty much going to skip this entire one. So if I need to just do a little bit of climbing.
What?
Good thing is the next level has a cat suit, so that's fine. I am grabbing that. No, we're not. Judging by the fact I died within 5 seconds, yeah, we're grabbing the checkpoint. So now we have a star that actually used to be a backup star for me in runs. I do actually have it in the route now. There are no more backups, so I do need this. And basically, snap back, please. Okay, let's not have that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, basically, you have to use the light box there to hit those like enemies. And if you get hit, then you're just kind of chilling. You're just kind of chilling with the boost for 10 seconds because you can't do anything other than that. Which, I mean, that's not a bad fate, but also we need that green star. So, yeah. Anyway, now we're going to be climbing on the candles because this game is very normal. So, the candle strats are really hard. So, these are technically slopes. So, each time we climb on one of these, it is kind of trying to force us off by like us sliding very slowly off. And because it's such a small platform, you do slide off quite quickly. But because Peach has a float, even though some of the time there, even on that one, we were actually just getting our jumps eaten by the game, the float makes it a lot easier to recover stuff. So you have your main climb in this game, and you then you can re-grab a wall, and You get a tiny bit extra stamina before you land. Technically, when you land on those candles, though, you regain your stamina. So it's kind of a nice skip to go for. It saves a lot of time. Again, I think the main thing I could do now is kind of upgrade it from using Peach. But yeah, the float makes it so much safer to do. So we're coming up to our final of the main run anyway. Our final mystery house. Yeah, you can skip that section, and it is a pretty nice skip you can do there.
Yay, cat soup.
Yeah, so we have actually 2 cat suits. This one forces you to get cat suit in both those question mark boxes, even if you don't have a power-up, you're just small at that time, it will give you 2 cat suits, which is really nice because this is called Mystery House Claw Climb after all. So that makes sense. But unfortunately, later on, we're going to see what is this exact star. This is actually going to become one of the hardest ones because we're going to see this again, and I'm going to have to do all of that with no cat suit. So that will be kind of difficult. And yeah. So that is a bit harder. Also, this one as well, basically every hard star in the incentive that we have later is like back to back. Like it's kind of brutal. Like there are a few other hard ones, but yeah, they're mostly back to back the hard ones. So yeah, grabbing these green stars and then coming to the end. This is another one we're going to see later. This is the hardest one in my opinion, and it's made slightly harder. Yes, itemless.
What?
Yeah, it's really hard. There's a reason why the intermediate itemless guide says to get 9 green stars here, and because that's the 10th one. So technically what you can do, the genius routing, to be honest, I love that routing, is you can do 9 stars, you can die at the end, and you save the stars, and you just leave out of the door, and you don't even technically complete the level, but you get the stars. That's the intermediate strat. And I actually did an itemless run, and I thought, I've done the itemless incentive enough times, I can do this. And I ended up dying, because obviously it's only 1 attempt in a PB run, and it's like, I'm just gonna add it. I'm just gonna change it to the 9-star route next time I do a run. But yeah, obviously for the itemless incentive, we'll be doing that. Also, yeah, more skips here. We are skipping that section there, jumping on there. We're going to be grabbing Tanuki for the first and only time in the run for one big skip coming up. You can do this with any character, but I find it easier to do with Toad. Also, ground pounding here is slightly faster. Speeds up the ground bumps a little bit. So if you do a big jump and then just float all the way down here, you can just do all that. Change back to Katsu, and then we are going to try and do, to be honest, the harder part is just trying to stay on these grumblumps. So don't tell anyone, but this is actually the harder part. Because it's so easy to just fall off here. If you've played this level before,
yes.
I know you said you've played this game before, right?
Yes.
Yeah, these are such a pain.
Yes.
Grabbing that, and then also grabbing the green star. Thank you. Wanting to be a little bit careful there. So that actually looked dodgy, but
yes.
What the main thing is there is it's a funny little detail. So when you first grab a green star or a stamina, there is like a few frames of lag. Like a few lag frames where the game just kind of freezes up a little bit. That is the game. That's not my capture card or the screen or anything. That's the game. If you've already collected them, which we're going to see later with the incentive, because I'm using a 100% file, you don't get those lag frames. So it basically like eats your inputs if you do a cat scratch at that exact moment. So either for that star there where I was kind of trying to back it up, or a star earlier in World 4 or 4-1, it is really easy to get your input eaten and you just get like bodied. Like, yeah. So yeah, you kind of have to be a little bit careful because obviously if your input gets eaten there, then I don't think I would have been recovered from that. So yeah, this is pretty much a rematch of the fights from earlier. I already mentioned this one. This is the golden fight. You know what? I'm going to change it to Tanuki just because I don't need this again for the strats that I'm going to do. But yeah, probably final part of the run where it's a little bit of what we've already seen. So if there's any messages to finish up on, now might be a good time.
Sure. Just a reminder, we are raising money for True Colors United, and we have a bunch of different incentives and polls open. You can type !incentives in chat to see what's currently available. And we are less than $20 away from that Shishingo bonus cat showcase, where, so normally in Shishingo, we only get to see one cat. If we meet that bonus cat showcase, Scala Kitty will go back and pet every single cat in the game. And I mean, we need to pet the cats. Like, we're watching, you know, Mario Cat, Toad Cat, Peach Cat. Don't we want to go pet them? If you type !donate in chat, it's all going towards a great cause. And we can do things like pet more cats.
Yes, we should do more of that. We should do more. So one more mini boss is going to take us to the number of stars we need. This is Histocrat Returns. Oh, I wonder what they've done. Well, first off, there's a hidden block there that has the cat suit. The one, the previous level, is just in a normal question mark block on the right-hand side. There is a hidden block. Yeah, it's just a reskinned boss. It's just the exact same boss. So we're just going to do the same thing as earlier. Lucky to not get hit there because as I was saying, did manage to turn around a little bit and almost hit me. It always just looks like I'm maybe gonna get it. But yeah, we're fine. Next level has cat suits anyway. Fittingly because it's like, I don't know if it's officially named this, but I know everyone calls the boss fight this. We're coming up to Meowser. So that is the next level. And the final one before the incentive. So at the moment, we are like barely behind a sub 140 pace. And well, actually, there is a bit of time save in this next level. So this would be my third ever sub 140 if I managed to do this. And like my best D-Ross run has been a 142. So I genuinely, and the fact that I lost 30 seconds on the cookie level for just forgetting a star and then dying on the pipe because I tried to backtrack. Yeah, this is really good.
We believe.
But it's really good. Yeah.
Luigi time.
You got this.
So we're doing this, and also another thing I haven't even explained so far, but yeah, I did unselect and reselect Luigi, even though we already selected Luigi. That saves half a second on every level we do that on. So there is a reason I'm doing that. It's not just because I can. Like, for some reason, it just speeds it up a little bit. So yeah. So here, we've already got our stars. We don't need any more stars. So we are just gonna come through on this level, get stalled by the bully, that's fine. Get in this lift, and here, from this platform where Captain Toad is, there's a huge skip you can do called Meowser Skip. You can float all the way into where my cursor is, roughly. Great to actually show you where I'm talking about. But yeah, you can float right into where those clouds are. If you get closer, those clouds actually spawn in. It saved like a minute on Wii U. Here you can skip the cutscene when Bowser turns into Meowser. So it doesn't save as much time here, and they made it harder. So it's a hard skip, and also it turns off the music if you do it in a certain way. So yeah, that was pretty much always a reason why I didn't want to go for it. It's like, one, this is hard, and two, I like the music. So
it is great music.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because it also turns off the music for the next section. You'd think that because the music stops, that it would kind of restore the music back to where it's supposed to be, but it just doesn't. So the rest of the level is kind of silly. So here, there's nothing we can skip. Meowser's just going to do his funny cat things. He's just going to climb around and destroy the bricks and stuff. But he's always in the same place. And then in the next part, he's also he's multiple Meowsers. They're all in the same place as well. Here is an invisible wall. It won't activate until a certain point there, and then we can go through, hit that power block, and then get in here. of course, we're not done. He has one more thing to do, and that is use the double cherry. Honestly, this is kind of a cool thing. So you just end up with a bunch of Meowsers. So we get more cats, and I guess I can pet him. I suppose it's fun. So now, this is kind of a hard skip, so I will try and focus on the audio. But basically, if I climb on a bunch of these clouds, I'm trying to work out where I am. Okay, I've worked out where I am. So if we climb on the left-hand side here, then we can just get to the top. There we go. Done. So that is pretty much where most of that time saving is going to come from, whether I get sub 140 on that. Also, tiny camera skips here if you go onto these stairs a little bit faster. There is no banister here. I have died like that. I would really rather not do that now. So I will just wait until I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. And in a twist of fate, it's a 4-hit power block and not a 3-hit. But that is the run. I think... I don't know if that's it. I don't think that's it. But it's still a really, really good run. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. It took me a little bit to sort of line up with those clouds. But it's basically another thing where, like, you can skip it when you hit that camera trigger. There's a bunch of, like, Meowsers all in the way. But it's funny, like, all the clouds on the left-hand side, apart from one moving one, they pretty much all line up really well. So if you just get in the same place, then it just kind of works. And the good thing is it's not really risky. Like there, it took me a few times to get into the place I wanted to be in, but it wasn't really a problem. And that's why I like going for it, really. So time is coming up when
I was going to ask about time.
Yes, yeah. Time is coming up when points appear. So that is going to be when I hit the top of the flagpole, because it's actually going to make points appear faster. So in a few seconds... Time! Oh my goodness!
Oh.
So, I don't know if, so I don't know what the time says on stream, but I think I know what it might be.
On stream, it's 1:39:59.
Yo, I got 1:39:58 on my end as well, so yeah, it is definitely sub 140. I can't believe that.
Woo!
The runs I've been doing, like the fact that I've been doing 3D Land lately, which is much more clunky in terms of movement. You'd think they'd be similar from being so close together, but it's very different. Tanuki is used there instead. So I've been very used to that instead. But it's been a lot to sort of de-rust this and get it back to where I want to be. Yeah, that's my third ever sub 140, so I'm really happy. Great thing is, we aren't going to go too much further over estimate for doing the incentive.
Well, that's okay. We like more marathon. I mean, we also like, good time. So it's a balance.
Exactly. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to play World Crown Itemless. This is actually World Crown Itemless Asterisk. And there is a reason why that is there, which I will get into. Basically, there is 1 star in the Mystery House. If you go on the IO boards in this game, this is not a category, unfortunately. You can't do itemless World Crown, and the reason for that, or at least 100% itemless World Crown, and the reason for that is because you have to grab a fire flower to light up candles to grab one of those stars. So that pretty much means that this is still only an incentive, but it's still just as cool because I can just get rid of my fire flower straight away once I'm done with it, so it's fine. So what we're going to do is start off with the Captain Toad level. We're then going to do the Mystery House, the 30-star Mystery House, and then we are going to do Champions Road, itemless, with the most slippery character in the game, but also the one that allows us to jump higher, which makes it a bit easier, but don't tell anyone that. It also makes it harder, I promise.
So are you going to do another countdown?
Yes, I will do a countdown.
All right.
So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, starting off here, we have Captain Toad. So, straight away, we're actually going to do a restart. We are going to press start over so we can get a better cycle. So, we're going to press try again. And that will essentially allow us to go straight onto this platform with the star. Also, there was a fire piranha plant in the middle. We have now used the gyro cursor to just get rid of it. The intended way is to go all the way to the top platform and actually go into that hole, because again, Captain Toad can't jump. You have to go in the hole, and that's the intended way to hit that one. But here we can just fire the fireball straight back in. So here we are going to grab the stamp for good measure. It's not going to give us a cutscene anyway. And actually, this is not the intended way, but this does skip a cycle by getting on that platform. Just as the lava goes there, we're able to just go onto this platform here, and then barely activate that one, and then finish off that level. That was actually really good.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a good start. The intended way is to pretty much go the other way around there and use the other platforms. You're intended to go on that really tall pink block at the end, and then you kind of have to deal with that fire piranha plant as you come through. But yeah, we can use the gyro control still, and really that's the most powerful power up in the whole game anyway, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, this is now yeah, that's fine. So starting off here as small is fine because we're gonna come back as big. So that's the thing in this game where yeah, so technically this still counts for itemness, and we can also grab the mushrooms that appear later, and we will be able to use those to our advantage, just as a little bit of safety. So again, using more gyro controls here. So doing the same thing as earlier, we are grabbing these stars slightly early. This is the one we need fire flower for. I will lose the fire flower straight away. There we go, we're done. And we are right back to where we were. Nobody's sorry. So what we're going to do is I accidentally froze that box, but that's fine. So here we can't actually climb the box. We have to do it normally. Oh. That's okay though, because here we know where the star is. We don't have to
Yay!
Great. So that's cool. And then here we just pop all of these. And then again using the ball just to do that. Normally you have to like throw it all the way down, but yeah, more gyro control silliness, because why not? We've clearly not had enough of that in this run.
Like,
then,
I'm not even seeing half the levels, it's just poof, it's done.
Yeah, and talking of all the way back in 3-1, we're going to do ice momentum again. So we're just going to crouch a bunch and then get in the box. And I'm going to charge up a spin early for this one, just so I can spin, just get a bit more time. So there is a cat suit in there, guaranteed cat suit. And the reason is probably for this bit as well. So I'm just going to focus. There's 4 hard stars coming up now. I'm just going to get rid of those bricks. They are a nightmare. That's the first one. There is a mushroom in there if I'd taken damage, by the way, in that little spot. If I haven't taken damage, though, it's a cat suit, so I can't grab it. That's that one. There are more hard ones. This is the hardest one. No! I can't make it. Come on, that's the first time I've ever bonked on that. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's go again. So, yeah, okay. So that is one that we saw. Okay, that's just gonna hit. That's fine. Yeah, that is one we saw earlier, but with a very slight modification. It's really hard to tell, but basically the platforms start going down very slightly earlier based on your position. Or actually, no, I'm not sure it's based on your position. Actually, no, it must be, because the others didn't go down there. But basically, on the first iteration of that one, which we did see earlier, not that long ago, basically, what happens is... come on. Okay, I'll get back to that. I need to actually make sure we can... I don't want to have to redo this one again. That's okay. Yeah, so on the iterations earlier, the platforms only go down when you land on them. So it's a lot easier to do that there. I don't want to have to deal with those mini Goombas, so I'm just going to use the gyro controls to hit them. Fine. To be honest, they're one of the easiest things to get hit to. Between this and the gold mini Goombas in Mario Odyssey, like, they're honestly the hardest enemies in the entire franchise. They're so hard to hit. Okay, I want my mushroom back, so we need to grab that when we get there. So in regular itemless rules, mushrooms are temporary power-ups, so we can grab them. Here, though, it is a guaranteed catsuit, so that is not going to be something I can use. So we're going to have to come through, do that one, and then I'll get it back here. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. Oh, now I fell. Good thing is the timer stopped. That's fine. So we'll grab back that mushroom. There we go. So these are a little bit more generous than 3D Land. So 3D Land also had these mystery boxes. Whenever you hit 0, it's just like, yeah, okay, you're done now, goodbye. But here, you get an entire second of it being on 0. So you pretty much have 11 seconds. Nice.
Oh
and
my gosh.
That last one is actually the easiest one because it falls earlier. And then here's the funny spin. It'll be very hard to do this without that spin, trust me. I don't know how you'd even do that without that spin. So that's kind of why we use Luigi. Grab that star, please. This is actually a hard one because you can use the ball with the gyro controls, but it's really hard. It's just easier to just throw it. So yeah, taking one out with gyro and one with a roll. And then here, funny thing here is this will work if, hang on. This will work if I just do a ground pound and a wall jump. If I'm small Luigi, or small any character, I'm just going to avoid the boost pads there because they change the way your directions work. It's just easier to do it without. Yeah, so it's actually easier. Nice. There we go, done. Again, if you get stuck there, if you don't hit that that brick, then you actually get stuck there. You don't hit that with that whole one. Yeah. Oh my goodness, these levels are so fast-paced, I forgot what I was talking about with that level earlier. But yeah, it's fine. It was not very important. It's okay. Yeah, now I already died once to stuff that was mainly out of my control. I kind of just want to make sure I get a decent attempt at Champions Road. Okay, it's fine. So we get through on this one, and then we have Boom Boom. And the funny thing with this one, massive troll, because he takes so long to die that the countdown is still ticking. But yeah, it's fine. It's Boom Boom. It's okay. And then we have a free one at the end, although there is a hole, so I do want to be careful. And then we're done. So that's that one. Okay.
There was a question in chat. Is the falling blocks one even possible itemless on the Wii U version?
Good question. I think not, because again, that is the diving roll that you get from the extra thing that's in this version and not Wii U. So yeah, again, that's another thing that's like, you can do this here, but it would have to be done in a different way there. So yeah. Yeah, you are right that it would probably be impossible. Alright, so we're now on Champions Road. This is gonna be... oh, are you kidding me? You know what, I'm gonna take a restart. I'm not doing the rest of this level with no mushroom. Because, especially this spike section and the end section, those are the easiest to get hit, I would say. So it's not going to harm me too much to just do this again. So here, whether you get sprint speed or not, you should be able to just do a wall jump. Sometimes you get a diagonal one like I just did, and it gives you enough speed to just do that rolling jump there. Get here, and then I actually like doing this section a bit faster just because you have less cycles to deal with. So we're going to try and do that. So normally there, you kind of want to hang around in those blocks if you're playing casually, but with Luigi you can clear a 2-block jump, which is a lot easier there. So here, just stun all these Kamex, go in here, not fall.
Oh boy, oh boy!
Okay, this is the hard section, so I will focus. Ah, no, we already killed it. Okay, cool. Okay, right, so I'm going to stun this spike bar. We're then going to stun this one. Okay, that's normally where I get hit, so we're kind of even. I would like to be having a power-up, but fine, I guess. It just means that we're gonna, like, be really nervy for the end section. So, coming up here would normally be somewhere called Champions Road Skip. I'm gonna turn the camera around. That wall on the left there, that wall, basically, if you have a cat suit, you can actually climb that wall, and you can even, like, climb the, even though it's not technically a wall, like, the part where the clear pipe is at the top to get past this section, you can climb that part as well, and then get in the clear pipe and end this. Fun fact, one of my 380 star PBs, this is the last level you do. It's a 4-hour run, pretty much, and I was 30 seconds behind, and I thought, you know what, I've been learning this skip, I don't think I'm going to hit it, I might as well do it, I'm not going to PB without it. I managed to hit it, and I got like a 5-second PB. Are you kidding? How did I get hit there? Okay. But yeah, I managed to get like a 5-second PB like that, which is just so funny. That is really unfortunate. I can't believe I got hit to that. I've been practicing this all morning, and that has not happened at all. That's okay.
Since you're redoing this section, can I read a donation?
Absolutely.
All right, we have $10 from Caro saying, "See you tomorrow, less than 3. Here's my first dono of the marathon going towards MChan338's Link's Awakening DX run, no save and quits. Power up with pride, hype!" And that means that currently that Link's Awakening DX category bid war, no save and quits is currently in the lead over allowed save and quits. And remember, every time you donate, you can put it towards a target and a poll. And that Shishingo bonus cat showcase, I know we all want to pet the kitties. We only have, the next run after this to do it. So get your donations in, !donate. You got this.
Oh, I can't believe I got hit there. I just, like, so many things happening all at once. Like, even using the motion controls here, it's just so difficult to, like, do both at the same time. I'm going to be a lot careful here. I want to at least see the final section. Whether we clear it or not is another thing. If I don't do it on this one, I'll give it one more shot, but that is all I'll do. Because I don't want to go for too much longer on it, but I do want to give it a good go. So the last section is boost pads. Boost pads, I didn't even talk about how they drop inputs earlier. So they drop inputs on that level earlier because they're on different elevations. This one, it's fine because they're all on the same elevation. Doesn't mean it's easy. It's really, really difficult. I accidentally tapped A twice there. I almost died again. Okay, right, careful here. Deep dive, go. Okay, we will at least see the last section. That's cool. That's all we want to do. As long as we see it, doesn't matter.
You got this.
Okay, so we're using this. We can stun these a little bit, but that's all. I want to focus. No. Okay. Right, one more go. That's all.
Go for it.
I will do one more. That's it. I'm doing a hard limit. One more.
We believe.
Okay. We at least saw the last section. There have been times where it's not even been like good enough for me to really get a good go at the last section. That is pretty much it. That is the last. Are you kidding? That is pretty much the last part of the level. After that is just a bunch of pipes that read out thank you. So we've pretty much seen it all here. To be honest, I've been losing runs more today on the Mystery House. So yeah, I'm happy to just get through that. No, I'll just let you go there, that's fine. I mean, at least it doesn't mean I have to deal with the firebar. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna have to call it, right?
Okay. Come on, one more try.
I think.
Or, no,
one more
we're done.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. Just because we got a bit more time.
We got donations for it. You came under estimate on your run, so let's just give it one more try.
All right. At least we managed to not take damage there.
There we go.
I can't believe it. All parts, like the hardest part here is the fact that wow, that's close. The fact that I took damage to charging chucks twice in the space of 7 minutes, which is not great.
It's that marathon luck.
Yeah, it's always how it is. It's fine. Okay,
Nice.
focus now. Right, I'm just gonna take this really slow. This is a game of chess now. Right, I'm gonna do. I've not used this move in the run yet at all, but we're gonna do it here. Right, do there. Okay. Right, we're gonna wait. We're gonna stun that one. Thing is, the foot. Oh, I made it. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, how was that physically possible to land on that platform and not get hit? I have no idea. I think if I tried to replicate that... Are you joking? Okay, I think if I tried to replicate that, I would struggle. Okay, come on. Taking damage to everything that's never normally a problem. It's fine. We're gonna get one more go with... Yeah, okay, that's fine. Right. Just playing this section is just awkward. You have to mash here as well. Like, I'm only lightly mashing, but you do still have to mash to get through that part. To actually still be in the water there. If I get through this, I will at least do shout-outs and stuff during the thank you, so it will
of course.
Extend it too much, so yeah. Fine, that one's not normally a problem. Oh, I in time. It's fine. It's done. That's pretty much that's it.
All right.
That's the entire thing. Like you get the keys, you get in the box. It says thank you, and that's it. That's the run. So we pretty much managed to show most of it off. So I'm still pretty happy with that. Yeah, I want to do quick shout outs though. Shout outs to yeah my community on Twitch. We have been doing a lot of different games lately. We have actually been doing 3D Land. I've mainly been doing, even since like last marathon, I've still been doing a lot of stuff with We Play. I've been on a little bit of a break. I've been doing 3D Land. I've been trying to get into games that have difficult, sometimes sub-hour runs. So any percent is kind of hard to sub-hour. So I've been going for sub-hour there. And we've also been doing loads of other different games lately. Yeah, we also do like interactive quiz streams and stuff if that's your thing. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for being here, sticking around. Obviously, this is only the first run of the day, so there's so much more to come. And obviously, there's been so many generous people coming in so far already. So yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone so much. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes as well, Tech and everyone, because obviously the event would not be possible without everyone. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the marathon. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much. That was just absolutely amazing watching the whole time, edge of my seat. I'm so glad I was able to host for you. But as SMMidi said, stick around. We have lots more to come, and all raising money for a good cause. All right, everyone, and that was my time on the mic with you, but we still have lots more coming, and I am passing you off to the amazing Sushi Kishi for the next couple of runs. Take care, y'all.
Ohio gozaimasu. You are watching Power Pride 2024 here on Twitch. We are running all weekend long, about 16 hours each day. And this year we are benefiting True Colors United. If you'd like to learn more about the charity we're supporting, you can use the charity command at chat. That'll get you the link to their website. If you'd like to donate and then put that donation towards any of the incentives that are available, use the donate command at chat or the incentives command at chat to get a list of incentives. Or use the schedule command to get a list of the upcoming runs for the event. This is where I was going to put a little advertisement about the run for the incentives for the next run. We actually just met the Kansas incentives for the upcoming Shishinga run with a $20 donation from Anonymous. Thank you so much for that. I do remember when you are donating, you can put your donation towards both a target and a poll. Help us unlock incentives like the Sonic Dream Team run, upgrading that run to a race. Races always fantastic. So please do get your donations in for that. You can also put that towards one of the 3 polls that are available. One for Link's Awakening, which would change the category for that from save and quits to no save and quits, as well as an incentive for Lena's Inception for the art style, as well as for Sonic Mania, which Tails is a little bit in the lead of there, but you can also donate towards Mighty Ray, Knuckles, or Sonic and Tails there.